So it has been a little while since we've done a room makeover on this channel, basically because I've run out of rooms in my own apartment. Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. If you're new to my channel, I do new DIYs every single Wednesday. Would love for you to subscribe, come back every week and check out what I'm doing. But I also have done a handful of room makeovers, mostly within my own apartment. So that's why I jumped at the chance to be able to help my brother out. So he, like many other people, are working from home, but his company has basically told him he's going to forever be working at home. So he wanted to transform his second bedroom into his permanent office space. It's still going to kind of double as a workout room and a space for guests to stay over when they need to. So I'm going to show you how we did this on a major budget. Like, it did not cost a lot of money at all, but the impact was incredible and it completely transformed this space. He now has an office that he likes to work in. It just makes it more pleasant. So there are a lot of easy little tips that you can do and not spend a lot of money to do this. So let's get into it.
So I actually did this for my brother last year when restrictions were eased and he was in my bubble. But this is the space that we're working with. As you can see, I mean, it is a little bit cluttered at the time, but we are going to be using a lot of the same furniture that is still in here. So that's my first tip. Just repurpose whatever you have. He's got a great office chair. He's got this dresser that he wanted to keep in here because it is extra storage for them. But we need to keep this space open for any guests that come over or for when they want to work out. So first things first, we're going to be taking down a few things and prepping the space for paint. I took down this curtain rod and I started taking off the faceplates on just this one wall. So this wall is going to be a new accent wall. I need to pull everything away from it and kind of tidy and clean up the space. Dance, of course, because, I mean, why not? But this desk is actually going to be replaced, and we are going to be switching around the whole layout of this room, which I think made a really big difference. All right, so I don't know what it is, but every single time I use tape when painting, it always bleeds through. So I often do resort to just cutting everything in by hand. But I didn't do that this time. Anyways, if you have any tips, I don't know if I'm just using the wrong tape or what, leave it down in the comments below. So this paint color you actually might recognize from my own space. This is actually the accent color that I have in my living dining area in my own apartment. My brother had come over and he said he really liked it and I had extra paint, so I figured it's a great way to save on the budget, and we use the same color. So this is going to be our accent wall, but also kind of his new Zoom background because he does so many calls throughout the day. He wanted something to look good. So here's a quick tip to save you some cleaning when you're doing painting. If you're doing it over the course of a couple of days like I was doing, all you have to do is wrap your paintbrush and roller tightly in a plastic bag and throw it in the freezer. The next day, make sure you thaw it out completely, and then you can just use the same roller and paintbrush. I love this tip. My mom told me about it years ago, so that is a good one to use. So over here we have a strange little diagonal wall that we thought we would turn into a little funky design with, again, another accent. So I'm using the same paint color here and really simple, just doing some quick brush strokes at random, all different sizes. Anyone can do it, but I think it gave a really cool effect. After everything dried, I got everything kind of put back together. There are a few things that my brother did overnight while I wasn't here. He put together his brand new desk, and then he also built himself this. So this is a little riser for his monitor. He was previously using a stack of books, but he just created this with just some melamine wood that he had laying around, cut a couple 45-degree angles there, as you can see, glued it together, put in some brackets, and then put a little veneer piece on the front there, just ironed it on. And I think this thing looks like he bought it at a store. It's great. He also installed this new blind, of course, for some privacy and to shade from the light. So after that, we basically just did a little bit of decorating and mostly used things that he already had, including this piece. I love this painting that he's had for years. We got that hung up on the wall. On the green accent wall, we added a few pieces as well that we just got for pretty cheap from a box store, just to add a little pop for those, Zoom calls, like I said, he would be on. And then everything else was thrifted. So I managed to find this little cute chair, and I'm going going to use this as a plant stand. I think it works perfectly. Gives some height to that, and it was only like $5 or $10. This lamp was only $15, and it was a great find at a thrift store, adding some light to the background and just, you know, some dimmer lighting if you're working evenings. Again, just some more thrifted pieces here styled on this dresser. We tried to keep things very clean, and he wanted a lot of plants in this space, and I couldn't agree more. I love plants in my space. I think they breathe some life in, you know, and make it nice and fresh. So that is pretty much all we did for this space, and here's a reminder of what it looked like before. And the after. I cannot believe this transformation that we did in just 2 afternoons. It really wasn't a lot of work, and it really did not cost a lot of money. A couple of $100 spent, and honestly, most of that went into the new desk that he got for himself, which was 100% needed. It's a much bigger workspace, and it's going to be really functional for him. I think it's really great that we also put the desk in front of the window, because now he's got that bright light for all those Zoom calls. But it just kind of makes the space feel fresher and probably more enjoyable to work in as well. Just so you know, the workout gear has been stored away, tucked in that closet, but let me know what you thought of the overall transformation of this space. Leave it in the comments down below, and please don't forget to subscribe. I will be back next Wednesday with a new DIY. Cheers.